Hey there, welcome back to the Filthy Rich Writer YouTube channel. Now, today you are going to get a special sneak peek into how we coach our students in the Comprehensive Copywriting Academy. What's coming up, is one of our laser coaching sessions, which are 10-minute sessions designed to answer really any questions that students bring to us. Now, you might hear some CCA-related terms, things like Pitchapalooza, which is a student-only event, but head down to the description below if you need a little bit more context. Now, our students are all in different states of learning copywriting and starting their careers and building their careers and all that kind of thing. And also, some of them want to be freelance, some of them want to be part-time, some of them want to be on staff. So you are going to hear a variety of different questions related to copywriting, business, all kinds of stuff. But I guarantee it's all going to be pretty helpful. So if you want to check out any other topics we cover, make sure you subscribe to the Laser Coaching playlist. Exciting, right? Now, even though you are not the one in the hot seat, I'm positive you will still learn a lot. So without further ado, let's get to it. What can we help you with?
So I thought I would go kind of big picture because I think I'm mostly on the right track, but I want to just recap what I'm doing and find out like, what else am I missing? What are some action steps maybe I'm not aware of? So I'll give you a real quick rundown of what I've been up to since August, if that sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great.
So I've been working through the course, have like most of the modules done. I got my first client in October. I did 2 projects with him. I helped rewrite his main website. I wrote a welcome sequence, and I did a product launch website for Black Friday. All good. I kind of slowed down in December, and then in January hopped on Pitchapalooza, 9 pitches out the door, 2 good responses. One of them's like really close to closing, but the problem I made is I got really comfortable thinking that because the marketing manager I spoke with loved my proposal and wanted to hire me, but it's just waiting on the 2 co-founders for review and approval. And I made the mistake of getting complacent and doing absolutely nothing for the last 3 weeks. Oops. So, okay, but here's my plan. Like, my goal is to eventually be like a full-time freelancer. I really desire the freedom and the control that comes with that, being my own boss, and so forth. I work full-time in finance, actually, which is a totally different field, but, what's the nice way of saying I'd like to exit that world because it just is not, maybe not the best fit for me, as long as I've been there. But so here's my plan. I want like 1 or 2 more quality samples in my portfolio before I ramp up and start pitching 5 times a day. First of all, with a full-time job, 5 pitches a week is pretty reasonable about what I can handle. And really 1 client on top of at a time is really, I think, all I have the mental space for. My job is pretty mentally draining. So I've actually been logging on, to my personal computer and getting like, I guess 2 hours a day of copywriting time from like 6 to 8 before I start, because I'm just happy and awake in the morning, useless after like 2 p.m. So I know I need to be doing 5 pitches a week. I've got a website. Like, what else could I be focusing on what's going to really like move things forward the most?
Do you have, I was going to say, do you have a timeline for when you would, if your goal is full-time freelance, right? How can you, I guess you can, I know you can share how, but like picking a date in the future, I think might potentially help to say, if I'm thinking by, I don't know, what month are we in anymore? Thinking March. By July, I want to leave full time. What does that mean? What's my game plan to get there? Because I think, honestly, the plan is, I think, what will help you then know what you need to do to work your way up there. You know, if you're not ready for 5 a week and I want a couple more samples first in my portfolio. Okay, then that's kind of the immediate goal, right?
Right.
And after that, okay, do I ramp up 5 a week? Do I ramp it up to 6 a week for a while? And then do I ramp it up to 7 a week? And do you start to build until you work your way to that date that you have in mind and see okay, is now the time? Is this still right? Do I need to recalibrate? Do I need to do anything else to be able to comfortably leave my full-time job? So you're in finance, which is perfect. So getting your financial plan together of like, okay, what do I feel comfortable with to leave full-time?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a similar exercise, basically like, or I've done an exercise similar to Tim Ferriss's approach, like do the math, dreamline out your numbers of what does your life look like. And I mean, my goal is like income replacement, just to feel comfortable with the idea of leaving a full-time job. So I've got that all planned out, but no, I have not like put a date on anything. I've just said it's going to happen this year. I mean, I got like a third of the way through the Right Start planning book before my job just like dumped a bunch of work on me over the holidays. And I got really like, it got really just deflated momentarily and sidelined. But yeah, I don't really have like a clear idea. To me, it's just like whatever I got to do to get that next sample on my portfolio, I think is key. So
yeah, well, I will echo what Kate is saying is to, even if you end up having to move that date, like let's say you plan on July 1st and then it gets closer and you're like, you know what, I'm not ready yet. Let's move it to August or whatever. But also knowing how much you want to have in the bank that you'll be comfortable with. Yeah. Because you're going to be ramping up your freelance clients, but you're not going to be able to ramp it up to full-time freelance clients base.
You can, but you'd be crazy.
Yeah. Exactly. While you're still working on your full-time job. So having that plan for exactly how it's going to happen is going to make it so much easier, because then you can just start working toward that plan. But when it comes to getting samples in your portfolio, when it comes to landing clients, don't overcomplicate it. It really is a matter of just being consistent about your pitching. Like here's the thing, where do clients come from?
Everywhere.
Well, yes, there are clients everywhere. Great point. There are clients everywhere, but you get clients by putting yourself out there, and clients mean cash and clients mean samples, which means that if you cut it off at the beginning, if you're not sending those pitches, then there aren't going to be any clients coming in. It can be very tempting to be like, okay, I'm in the business world now, or I have my own business now. I know you're already in the business world, but I have my own business. What do I have to do? It can be very tempting and easy to overcomplicate things. But if you really just focus on consistently sending out your pitches, honing your pitches, periodically posting in the group to see if anybody has any feedback or things like that, and sending out follow-ups too. Follow-ups are just as important as the pitches.
Yeah. Need to do those.
You absolutely,
and that's the easy part.
Yes, they are easy. And
don't overthink those.
I mean, how busy your work inbox is, right? Like how many things, I shouldn't call you out, but I will say personally, I miss a ton of things. And then I have to go catch up. People are going to miss your initial pitches. They just are. But your follow-ups help ensure that they still see that pitch. Yeah.
Okay. So keep up the pitching, keep putting myself out there, follow up on existing pitches, putting timelines on things.
Think of your follow-ups as non-negotiable. That might help. Think of it as part of the process, not should I do a follow-up? It's yes, I send out a pitch. A week later, I send out a follow-up. Another week later, I send out another follow-up. And then if you still want to work with them, you haven't heard back, then great, put it on your sheet that you're going to reach out to them again in 3 months or 6 months, or whatever. But think of it as a non-negotiable part of the process. That might help.
Yeah. I mean, really, I like that. I think that like everything you got to do to be successful in CCA is non-negotiable. And I think coming to terms with that has been a part of my growth, like getting on Pitchapalooza. Oh my God, the resistance it took to, I had to overcome. I'm sure obviously you're both no strangers to what students go through. Sorry, Kate, you were going to say something.
No, I was going to say, think about too, with the time of when you think you want to leave, find both that line of like, I literally can't take on anymore versus this is what's comfortable. Okay. What's a little, maybe just adding some discomfort of like, I'm sending 6 or 7 pitches a week. Okay. That's a stretch for me, but you know what? It's actually, I can do it. It's doable. And try to push yourself up to that line of, okay, now I know this is my max. I have to either leave my job or I can't take on any more freelance clients. So you kind of know where that line falls. But to then also for yourself before you leave a full-time job, to know, okay, if I have a date in mind, this is going to be my last day at my full-time job. What's your plan after that? Okay, here was the line I got up against of 6 or 7 pitches a week or whatever you get up to. Okay, what can I start ramping it up to the day after? Take some time off, enjoy some time between, completely changing your life. But once you get back into, okay, full-time copywriter business mode, what are the steps I need to take to get to that level of having full-time work? If I'm not at full-time work yet, what's my game plan once I leave my job to make sure I can bridge that gap and get there?
For sure. Basically, this was just sort of a big picture check-in, and sounds like that's it. So
yeah, no, but it's
really appreciative of your time. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're doing the right stuff. Just consistency is going to be key, right? Is keep doing the right things and keep continually doing them. And to Kate's point, putting together an exit plan, because there are going to be, after you leave your full-time job, there's going to be time before you're fully ramped up as a full-time freelancer. So you're going to need some buffer, some money buffer, so that you're not like panicked.
Well, and I know there's a lot of ways that could play out. Like, I know that transition is different for everyone, but I know at the end of the day, a full calendar of clients makes me comfortable quitting my job at least a few months out. I don't know, but
yes. To get to a full calendar of clients, though, remember that when you're getting that full calendar of clients, you're going to still be working full time. Right. It's not like you can quit your job and then immediately you're going to have a full calendar of clients. Or it's also not that you're going to be having a full-time job that is a minimum of 8 hours a day and be able to have a full roster of clients on top of that. That's just not physically possible. So there is going to be a transition time. Yeah.
And figuring out what that looks like, I think, has been the biggest challenge for me, just because I don't know. I've never done this before, but
yeah. Well, yeah. And that's the thing, is you can't possibly know what it looks like, but the more that you can plan to make it easy for yourself, the more that you can ramp up, just to Kate's point, ramp up to the point where you're like, I'm a little uncomfortable with how much I have to work. And then also to have money socked away for a couple of months, so that if you don't get to your full-time freelance roster immediately, which you won't, because it takes time.
Really?
I mean, if you send out 25 pitches on a Monday, maybe, but it just takes time for people to okay projects, even, it takes time for people to respond and then to okay projects. So when you have that, and I'm not saying you're going to be living off savings for several months, because you're going to have clients, but just to help you have that little bit of buffer. So you're not like, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. I have to take another job because now stuff's getting real.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Keep
you can do this. Yes. Keep us posted, but you can do this, just putting a plan in place. And even if you so maybe you don't want to commit to an absolute, okay, I'm definitely going to leave on July 1st or whatever, then put in what parameters will let you know that it's okay for you to leave your full-time job when you're ready. Like, okay, I'll be comfortable leaving my full-time job when I have X amount in the bank. I'll be comfortable leaving my full-time job when I have X number of clients under my belt. I'll be comfortable when I have this, because then when you see those, when you hit all those goals, then you can say, okay, I'm at the point where I can start really getting serious about quitting. Yeah.
Got it.
Excellent. Yeah, you can do it. It's just figuring out what timeline works best for you, and then just sticking with all of the tasks you need to do to get there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't forget how much more time you'll have when you do quit. Because I think that's it's an easy trap to fall into, of like, well, I want to be at full-time hours. And again, it's impossible, but knowing that, okay, when I have more space in my day, that just looks a little bit different, obviously, than it does right now.
Yeah.
I can only dream of what that would be like to just
dream of what it would look like. It's like, okay, if I had all of this time, how would I fill it? How many pitches would I be sending? When would I be doing it? And how would I be growing my business? And what would I be working on to move it forward?
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, at least like capturing the best hours of my day partially is, I think, definitely a hack. I can keep exploiting, because I'm just awake and creative in the morning, and it's
nice.
just non-existent later on. So
yes, I'm right there with you. Exactly.
So,
awesome.
Yeah. Keep us posted in the group, please, and how
yes,
it goes and what
For
you
sure.
end up doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been pretty active in there, and I love the group. So Kate, Nicki, thank you for the feedback you've given me here and in the group as well. I mean, it's just an amazing, there's so much value here. So it's pretty awesome.
Thank you. And really good for you for taking action and making steps forward. Good for you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Well, have a great rest of your day, Joe.
Yeah,
and happy weekend. Yeah.
Right. You too. You as well.
Thanks. Bye, Joe.
Thanks, Kate. Nicki. Bye.
Bye. Like what you heard? Hit subscribe so you never miss a video. And if you're ready to take the first step toward becoming a copywriter yourself, sign up for a free video training right here.